Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Imran Mahmud Atan, AD230065. We'll be presenting about basic audit of fire and gas detection system in an industry facility at Perfect Emirates Sendirian Berhad. So, first of all, let's review the project overview. So, fire and gas detection system are critical for early hazard identification to prevent accident escalation and to ensure safety and operational continuity in industrial facilities. So, here is the flow of how detection system flow works. First of all, we identify the hazard, and after that, the detector will identify the hazard, will be triggered to alarm, and it will depend on us how to respond of the detection system. So, early detection of fire and gas hazards minimize risk to personnel, equipment at workshop, and production continuity. So, why we need to have detection system? Because it's reliable to detect system for the first line of defense against catastrophic industrial incident, ensuring that we are comply with NFPA and safety standard. So right now we are at background and problem statement. So industrial facilities face serious fire and gas hazards that can escalate rapidly without proper detection system in place. So, flammable materials that store in workshop and storage area pose initial risk. The initial source include electrical fault, welding spark, and hot surface. Gas leak from pipeline also can release toxic or explosive vapor into confined space. Last but not least, undetected leaks can accumulate to dangerous concentration rapidly. So, what is the consequences of incidents? First of all, it will cause injury or fatality to workers and emergency responder on site. It will also causing severe property damage to equipment, structure and asset. Production downtime leading to major financial and operational losses also will be the consequences. Lastly, it will increasing severity follows of the risk pyramid near misses to catastrophe. So right now we are at project objective. So first of all, why we need to do this project? Because we want to identify all fire and gas detection equipment installed within my industrial facility, including smoke detector, gas sensor, and alarm device. And then we need to analyze either the installation location of each detector and evaluate their coverage relative to hazard zone and operation areas. After that, we want to compare existing system configuration and equipment placement against regulation NFPA 72 and NFPA 10 standards to assess regulatory compliance. Lastly, the objective of this is to recommend engineering improvement so that we can address, identify gaps, and enhance overall fire and gas detection system performance. So, usually in fire and gas detection system, we have a few components such as hazard source. So, hazard source we have fire, smoke, or gas release. So, for detector, we have photoelectric, heat, and gas sensor detector. For alarm signal, we have audible and visual alert notification. And for control response, we have panel processes and trigger suspension. And for emergency action, we will evacuate an incident container. So for system flow diagram, the detection system operates through a sequential response chain. A hazard source triggers the smoke or gas detector, which sends an alarm signal to control the panel. After that, the control system initiates a coordinate emergency action to protect personnel and asset and for further action. So guys, this is the first equipment for fire and gas detection at my company, which is smoke detector. The type of the smoke detector is photoelectric detector that use a light beam and sensor inside a detection chamber. When smoke particles enter, they will scatter the light beam, triggering the sensor and activating the alarm signal to control pregnant. So the working principle and insertion of the smoke detector is light source will emit a beam inside the chamber. Smoke particles scatter light onto the photosensor, triggering the alarm. The installation usually installed at the ceiling for optical smoke detection. It is positioned away from events and obstruction as follow per NFA 72 spacing guideline. So for smoke detector key location, there are a few places such as workshop ceiling, storage room entry point, corridor junction, and office area near the
So, right here we have smoke detector. So, what do we need to inspect at the smoke detector here is we need to ensure there's not any dust that can block the sensor of the smoke detector to detect any smoke detectable in this company. So, as you can see here, the smoke detector is well located in this company because if any of these technology devices are in fire, they will create smoke and the smoke will detect at this smoke detector. So for me, the smoke detector is located at the workplace.
For the second item that are available at my company is fire extinguisher. So fire extinguisher, there are two types, which is ABC dry powder extinguisher and CO2 extinguisher. So for the ABC type, it is suitable for ordinary combustible, flammable liquids, and electrical fires. Versatile and widely used across workshop, storage, and corridor areas in industrial facilities. For CO2 extinguisher, it is designed for electrical fire and sensitive equipment areas. It leaves no residue after discharge because it uses a clean agent solution ideal for office and control room environments. It is safe to use this extinguisher on live electrical equipment such as printer.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So right now here I have the second equipment that need to be inspected at the Perfect Emerald company. So here, this is we call fire extinguisher carbon dioxide type. So what we need to inspect this equipment is, first of all, we need to ensure that the safety pin is still available and not open yet. So that means that this fire extinguisher is still available to use when there is fire happen. So what is the main function of fire extinguisher? So the main function of fire extinguisher is we want to try to eliminate the small fire that happen before the fire become bigger and can harm this company. So other than we check the safety pin, we need to ensure the pressure bar at this fire extinguisher is still at green place. That means the pressure is still okay. So we can use it when accident happen. So after we inspect all of the equipment of the body requirement, we can finally confirm that this fire extinguisher still can be used and it is safe.
Last but not least, of the equipment that I have in my industrial facility is fire blanket. So fire blanket usually have to welding station of protection. So we it placed near welding area because we want to shield against spark, spatter, and flash fires. It provides immediate suppression of ignited materials and protect ejection in flammable surfaces during hot work operation. It also positioned in pantry and kitchen areas to smother small cooking fires and to wrap around burning object or place over flame because once we want to cut off oxygen supply and extinguish the fire quickly and safely. So guys, this is the structure 7-step field investigation approach that I use to systematically audit the fire and gas detection system at the industrial facility. So this is the step. First, we will do a site visit, then we do observation. After that, we do checklist inspection, take a few photography as a proof. We do the equipment mapping. We do analysis and last analysis recommendation for improvement. So each step of this was conducted systematically to ensure comprehensive coverage of all fire and gas station equipment, installation location, and it is comply with NFPA 72 and FPA 10. So this is a summary of all the fire and gas detection system equipment identified during the site audit at my industrial facility. There are 4 smoke detectors located in my industrial facility, 15 fire extinguisher in my industrial facility, and last but not least, there are only 2 fire blankets correctly located at the welding station and pantry area. So as you can see here, this is my risk-based placement analysis. So workshop is a higher risk placement analysis because it has flammable materials, initial resource, and it has heavy machinery operation. For storage area, I put it at medium risk because it has compressed gas cylinders and combustible inventory. For corridor, we just evacuation to the zone, and for office area, it is a low risk assessment. So all of the equipment at my industrial facility comply with standard. So let's take a look at an FA72 for smoke detectors. The smoke detector at my facility follow the detector spacing, uh, 9.1 meter between units, ceiling mounted placement, no obstruction within detection radius, and detectors located in all occupied zones. 4. Fire extinguisher at NFA 10. Travel distance 23 meter to extinguisher is comply. Mounting height just 1 meter from floor. Extinguishers clearly visible and accessible, and the service that current and up to date. So this is why all of the equipment at my industry community comply. So based on all the equipments in industrial facility, I can conclude that the facility strengths identified. Why I say that? Because it has a good detector placement. The smoke detector position at optimal ceiling location per NFA72 spacing guideline. It is also adequate extinguisher coverage. 50 fire extinguisher distribute across all facility zones, ensuring travel distance compliance. Lastly, equipment accessibility. All fire safety equipment is unobstructed and have a clear visible for immediate use at 4%. Service stats of all of the equipment are current and up to date. So it is confirmed that we also have a regular maintenance and inspection compliance. For fire blanket, it is correctly located at high risk zone. So this part will explain about gap identified in my initial facility. There are few elements that are missing and it is critical. So first of all, centralized fire alarm control. There are no centralized monitoring or alarm annunciation system detected on site. Heat detector. We don't have heat detector. This absent in high temperature zone such as workshop and storage areas. It is high risk. Manual call point. There's no manual break glass or push button alert activation point installed in the industrial facility. So for safety infrastructure gaps, emergency exit signage. Exit signs are missing, and we can see the inadequate along evacuation routes in corridor and workshop zone. Emergency lighting. There's no dedicated emergency lighting to guide occupants during power failure or fire event. Lastly, these gaps reduce overall this gaps reduce overall compliance with NFA 72 and FNPA 10 left safety standard. So, what can I improve for the gaps I found at my industry? So, first of all, I will try to immediate action. This one, we will try to install fire alarm control panel, and we will also add heat detectors in high risk zone, and we will try to install manual call point at exit at the workshop. For the phase 2, short term, we will try to add emergency lighting along evacuation route and install emergency exit signage so that all of the occupants will be more easy to evacuate when accident happen. So phase 3 ongoing program. We establish schedule inspection program monthly for annually for fire extinguisher. Monthly, we use it on smoke detectors. We will also conduct regular fire drills for our personnel so that it will spread awareness among all the workers. And lastly, we will maintain equipment service log so that it comply NFPA 72 and NFPA 10 full conformance upon implementation. So that is all for my presentation of my basic audit of fire and gas detection. Thank you for listening, and I have the last words for me, which is the existing fire and gas protection system is generally effective for my facilities operation risk level, but there are still improvement that need to do because we want to enhance safety, reliability, emergency response, and compliance.